What's up guys? Welcome to a Chatty makeup tutorial where I'm going to be using a lot of drugstore slash affordable products. So let's chit, let's chat, and let's do some makeup. Okay, so you may notice that I have done a little pre-work here. I have the first eye done, and that is because many reasons. One, I had no idea what I was doing today and I'm working with some new products, so I wanted to have a general game plan. And two, because I've been trying my best to upload a tutorial a day to Instagram, although as I say that, I have missed the last 2 days on Instagram, but I was kind of in a creative funk, like not knowing what to post, and I finally just decided that creating something was better than creating nothing, because at the end of the day, I do just love making videos and like adding the cool effects that I do on Instagram. So I decided to start doing that, and I have found that just doing something makes me feel better. I love seeing a video from start to finish on a daily basis, and it's getting me to try new products and techniques that I otherwise never would have, like this for instance. So let's go ahead and get started with the look. Today I'm starting off with maybe a little bit of controversy. Actually, no, probably not, because I did say at the beginning this is drugstore and affordable makeup. So this isn't really drugstore, but it is pretty affordable. It's the P. Louise base. I should have included this in the video I recently uploaded where I talked about products, viral products I'd never tried before, because these are among them. Despite the fact that I feel like every Instagram makeup person has tried these, I have not. No particular reason why. So they were having like a 40% off sale recently, like a week and a half ago, less than a week and a half ago, and I got quite a few different things, including brushes, because they're relatively affordable as is, but then 40% off, it was like the perfect excuse to try some new things. So I got, oh, this guy too, which is a like multi-chromatic sort of pigment. And I also had no idea how cute their packaging was. So all of these came in like this cutesy little envelope with a wax seal and everything. Like it looks like an envelope, but it can hold your products. It's like so adorable. So that was a really pleasant delivery to receive in the mail yesterday. And so today I'm using these for the first time, first starting with the like classic P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 3, which is actually a pretty good match for my skin tone. I'm taking that on like a dense-ish kind of brush. This one is from Sigma, so not technically drugstore or even that affordable. I mean, I feel like Sigma stuff is on the more expensive side of things, but still quality. Like I've had this brush for a good amount of time at this point. But if you are on the hunt for some good drugstore slash quality products, Real Techniques is pretty much always my go-to when I recommend brushes to people. Profusion has been stepping it up though. They sent me an eye brush. Actually, I think I'm using one or two to create this look today, and they've really been stepping up their brush game. They're really nice. So I'm just spreading that literally all over the lid up to right beneath my brow. What I want to try is, I feel like in all of their videos, they cut this super sharp line right under their brows, which I feel like is kind of happening right now, just to help define them a little bit more. And I kind of love that look, but I want to try a really cut Instagram brow one of these days with this. Now the shadows that I'm going in with come from a long forgotten palette, I think anyway. It's the BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic palette. All of these are like shimmery slash metallic shades depending on how you layer them up, and I was just in the mood for something like a little out of this world, if you know what I mean. I'm so sorry about that. I'll try not to do that again. So I'm taking the shade Mars and I'm running that through my crease, and actually quite a bit above it too. As you can see, this is the Morphe R37 brush, and I've been getting used to cleaning my brushes like more regularly. Typically I would spot clean, but I'm kind of taking the slower change of pace to actually use like my Cinema Secrets brush cleaner to clean my brushes like on a weekly basis, which might sound like not frequent enough for some people, over the top for others, but it's over the top for me. It used to take me a long time to clean my brushes because I have this little like spot cleaner thing that is like, it's called a color switch, and you just takes the color off so you can keep using the same brush. But I've just gotten into the process of brush cleaning, and it's very calming. Cinema Secrets, it dries very quickly on your brushes. It conditions, but it dries really nice and fast, has a light, maybe a heavy at times vanilla scent, but I can wash them like in the morning and then in an hour they're ready to go, so that my brushes aren't out of commission for too long and it's not some long daunting process. And it's always super satisfying to see on the paper towel or towel that I wipe these off on, all of the pigment fall away. It's so satisfying. So that's what I've been into lately. Good story, Bailey. Now I'm going into the shade Neptune and an e.l.f. This is a pointed eye pencil brush, and I'm dabbing that in the outer corner, blending that into my crease. Conspiracy time while I'm thinking about it. Look out, Shane Dawson, because I've uncovered something about Big Betty Crocker, Big Bakery. I don't know. So lots of people are baking more while we're isolating, right? And I am not a baker. I'm not going to pretend to be a baker. I baked 2 cakes and they were massive failures. Both cakes were dry, and then I somehow can't find the patience to wait for butter to soften but not melt, and it makes for a nasty frosting. I can't learn my lesson. So I got a cookie ball kit. I think it's from Betty Crocker. Honestly, it doesn't matter, but I made them. They were birthday cake flavored, and they had like a white chocolate drizzle to put over top, and they were delicious. But it only made 9 balls, and I got to thinking, what if you used a cake mix that comes with a lot more of the powder mix itself? Use the same 2 ingredients, which are butter and cream cheese. Make your balls, buy some chocolate bark, and drizzle it over top. So I did just that, and they are amazing. I will say they aren't totally the same formula. They're basically the same, but the first ingredient in the cake balls is flour, and the first ingredient in the sugar or the cookie balls is sugar. So I will say if you don't add enough of the cream cheese butter combo to the cake formula balls, they're a little bit more floury, but when you do, it's the same. You get double, sometimes triple the amount of mixture than you would if you bought the cookies. And it's, I think, cheaper. I think the cake mix is cheaper than the cookies. And that is what Big Bakery doesn't want you to know. I'm kidding, by the way. This is not a real I'm not trying to start anything out there, aside from a call to action to make some cake balls, because no, they're amazing. Now I'm going to take a little of that shade Asteroid on another non-drugstore brush. This is a Smashbox Precise Smudger. Any smudger will do though. And I'm going to take, did I say that? The shade Asteroid. It's pretty much like Mars, the color I put in my crease, with flecks of the shade Neptune that I put in my outer corner, kind of blended together. And that is that. Okay, now let's cut the crease. And this I don't know if I can talk through, because this is the first time I've ever like formally cut my crease. I've always kind of talked about doing it, pretended I did it very softly just by putting like very contrasting shades between my crease and my actual lid, but they weren't real cut creases. This is my first time doing it, and it's not perfect, but I don't hate it. So I'm just putting the white base. This is the P. Louise base in Rumor Zero, and I'm putting that on a Wet n Wild. This doesn't have a number, but it's like part of their very basic brush line. Putting that on the edge of it. I also got some P. Louise brushes that I'm excited to use, but did not think to pull them out in this event. So the show goes on. And I'm going to first start in my inner corner. And the way I have seen this done, the way the pros seem to do it, is not move around a lot like I just did, but they take their brush and they like start at the edge and they pull it down towards their lash line and just continue doing that. Oh, I just realized I'm going to encounter a challenge I did not anticipate, and that is symmetry. Well, it can only go up from here, right? So first I'm going in with the shade Comet, which is a soft turquoisey sort of situation, and I'm putting that right on the seam in between the white P. Louise base and that blue that I had already laid down in my outer corner. Oh, and this is one of those Profusion brushes. This is the Flat Precise eyeshadow brush in ES7, and it's super similar to that Smashbox brush that I used on my lower lash line. Like I said, I think they are really stepping up the quality on their brushes. Just like I'm gonna need to step up the quality on my cut creases. Now flipping that brush over, I'm going into the shade, what was that? Meteor, and it's more of like a frosty white with some sparkle and a little bit of that same teal shade in it. And I'm patting that over the inner corner right up to my crease. This is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Prance, and I'm going to use that on my waterline. I've really been loving this periwinkle shade a lot lately for my waterline, and also like winged liner on the top. I recently got a question when I asked for like questions for a Q&A style video. One of you guys asked how voiceover is going, and it's good. I've done like a lot of really diverse projects lately, which has been fun. I mean, everything from like, corporate safety trainings to I recently did a podcast that I did. 2 or 3 of you guys on Instagram and even on YouTube asked me if I was in, And yes, I was. I hesitate to tell people which one it was though, because it's kind of part of the story and I don't want to ruin it by telling them that it's me. I'll link to it down. If you're looking for a podcast, I will link to it down in the description, but I think you'll understand once you understand what the podcast is about. It might make more sense why understanding that it's my voice might change your understanding of how the story is being told, which is very cryptic, but it's the only way I know how to say it. No. Well, that's why we did our foundation second. What else? I've also been a couple of virtual assistants, like for a medical device and a fitness app. And it's been interesting to see, actually, let's move on the face before I talk about that. I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion in Fair. Just to add a list, it's gonna be a very glowy skin look, I think, today. But voiceover in general, I have a video that I posted probably a year ago maybe at this point on it, if you want more about like how to get into it or how I got into it and more about the nature of the job. But it's very project based. It's very like the work that I get is very much dependent on what I book and also what's available. And with everything going on, there's definitely been a change in the nature of jobs out there. There have been a lot more. Obviously, based on the commercials that you've seen, the focus is definitely on connectivity through distance and safety aware or safety measures being taken from small businesses. There's also more medical devices or medical things coming out that need voiceovers, either for training purposes or commercial purposes. And it seems like there have also been more entertainment, like podcasts that rely more on character work, like storytelling and the actual like acting out of dialogue as opposed to, you know, investigation or news, or it's at least those are the podcasts that I tend to listen to are like talk show style. This is more almost like radio theater, but on podcast. Moving on to foundation. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation Dewy in the shade Bronze Beige. I've really been liking this to amp up the glow in my skin. Not that my Believe Beauty foundation... It's on my hair. It's on my hair. No worries. It's not on my shirt. It's on my hair. You tried to get me. Not today, Satan. What was I saying? Foundation. I like this. It's glowy. That's what I was saying. Not that my Believe Beauty isn't. Be careful. Be careful. Not that that one isn't glowy and dewy. This actually has a little bit of a lighter coverage. And even though I am breaking out oddly and crazily, is that a word? I've still been liking just something a little bit lighter feeling and looking on the skin. So gonna blend that in. And the person who asked that about voice acting, I believe they also mentioned that they were considering getting into it, and you totally should. Even if it's not in like a profession or a job, you just want to dabble in it, you should. It is so much fun and it's very easy to start dabbling in it because all you need is a mic. A high quality mic is obviously preferable, but like you don't need a commercial grade mic to just start having fun. There are sites where there are projects that people kind of crowdsource, like passion projects where people might write their own scripts for fan fiction or podcasts, or they might need singing. You know, like there's a whole wide world of places where you can get experience and find work without having to do this like full professional setup sort of thing. And there's only one way to know if you like it, and that's to give it a try. Now I'm going to do some concealer, and the only drugstore concealer, sorry, that click is probably very annoying. Okay, I'm done. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind, Instant Age Rewind Eraser, and I'm gonna use a tip that after you guys had suggested has really worked well for me. I had not previously liked this. It was like too thin. It didn't have the kind of coverage that I was after, and I didn't find it was lasting very long, but a couple of you tipped me off to something that a few other YouTubers that you were doing or you had seen a few other YouTubers do, and that is you apply it, you let it set, and as it dries down a little bit, that makes the consistency a little bit thicker, so it thins out a little less. So that is what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to do my brows, but I don't know that I have a drugstore brow. Okay, no pigment for the brows today, but I did find a clear brow gel. This one is from Believe Beauty, and I really only use a brow gel to begin with anyway, my Anastasia brow gel, but for the sake of sticking to the affordable and drugstore theme, this is what I'm going to use just to hold my brows, kind of shape them and hold them in place. But ideally, I would like a little something to like fill in, add a little bit of beef bulk to them, you know? And as I blend this out, I realize that was too much concealer. Whoops. On to the cheeks. I could be making a big mistake here, but I had picked out what is kind of a warm corally sort of shade. This is the Maybelline Master Glaze Stick Blush in the shade Coral Sheen. I just love it so much, but I'm a little concerned that the only warmth I have going on is the brown in my crease, and that is not looking very warm compared to the navy blue. And I've really been loving placing it up on my nose a lot lately, like foregoing bronzer like I did today, just using blush, and kind of overdoing it on my cheeks and bringing it up on my nose for like a really fresh, youthful sort of glow. I don't know, Wayne Goss taught me, and I've been loving it ever since. Another question I got was about a musical audition that I shared here on YouTube a couple months back. It was for what was called The Search for Roxy, and it was an internet contest hosted by Chicago the Musical and Broadway.com, and I uploaded a makeup tutorial, and then at the end of it, I added my audition piece, which was like a monologue and song and dance and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, I wasn't selected to move on. There was a semifinalist round where the judges narrowed it down to 10 people, and then 3 people voted, and the top 3 went to New York, and Broadway.com filmed an online series about the audition process, which I think is up right now if you want to go check it out. But yeah, unfortunately I wasn't selected for it, and I don't know the status because I'm pretty sure all Broadway shows are closed right now. I don't know the status of the person who did win, like when they finally get to do their shows, which is so unfortunate because it's like such an amazing opportunity. So I imagine the day will come, like they're not just dropping it all together. And like I said, you can still see the content online, but yeah, that is the status on that. And even though I didn't advance, that was like kind of the first time I'd gotten back into certainly dancing, but singing. I used to sing in college, and I don't know why, but had it in my mind that like those days were behind me, and doing this definitely put me out of my comfort zone, and especially posting it online, which might sound weird since I post makeup videos online, but I don't know, it seemed like it'd be very out of left field, and people would kind of think like, who does she think she is posting that? But it was so much fun to do and share, and made me realize that I can get involved in like local community theater, and had every intention to before all of this stuff kind of happened. So hopefully once things start opening back up, community theater will be a part of that, which is nice. Now for highlight, I'm going in with another one of these Maybelline sticks. This is called the Strobing Stick in the shade Light, taking it on the same blush brush, and I'm dabbing that in where I typically like to apply my highlight, like just in this outer corner area, tops of my cheekbones inward, maybe even a little bit on that brow area. Now for the lips, I'm gonna go in with a formula that I have been obsessed with lately. It is the Revlon Super Lustrous, I think these are called melting mirror something lip, whatever. They're basically lip butters reinvented. They're amazing. I just uploaded, or recently uploaded, a lip swatch video, and the shade that I'm gonna use is called Glossed Up Rose. And I don't wanna go too intense. Now that looks, is that too cool for my eye look? This is a weird conundrum. Let's try a different shade actually. I'm gonna keep that on because it didn't add a ton of tint, and I'm instead gonna go in with Glaring Coral that might, this is a very conflicting look. I have the warm of the brown. Yeah, maybe this is it, Glaring Coral. Yeah, there it is. And these are great because obviously you get that tint, but then you get this high shine, balmy finish that makes your lips look fuller. Like it just gives you that polished look of a lipstick, but is easier to apply and really, really comfortable throughout the day. So that is the full look, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't done a chit chat video in a long, long time. Like, can't even remember the last time. So I hope this wasn't too long. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, or let me know down in the comments. Besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.